it's two sides for Buffalo. They do a good job of staying out of the penalty box, but when they do go to the penalty box, they're not very good. They're Eastern Conference worst, 72.7 on the penalty kill. This feels like a real opportunity for Carolina to get something going. I want to see some purpose. I want to see some identity on the power play. Where are we going with the puck? What are we trying to do here? It would be a great time to showcase that today.
Well, even if we turn back the clock a week prior, Jordan Staal, right? It was just a couple weeks ago, you and I were in here talking about what the team needed to do ahead of July 1. It got close, yes, but the captain is back. That's a huge part. A 4-year contract. I think some were surprised at that right off the bat, but it's not a 35-plus contract. Jordan said himself he thinks he can contribute the entire duration of it, so he'll be back for that. If he feels he's not able to, he can retire, no problem. He said he wants to end his career as a Hurricane. He's going to do that.
It's going to come down to consistent play for the Carolina Hurricanes. We bring that up because of Wednesday night. Of course, it was one of the very rare times this season that we saw players and coaches post-game say it was inconsistencies and mental errors that led to the loss. The third period was great, but they have to play that way for the whole 60 minutes. So starting tonight, and we talked about the scheduling too, no favors for the Canes the rest of the way. 24 games in 44 days to finish this thing out. You have to beat the teams that you're expected to beat. Yes, this is the NHL. Any team can beat any team on any given night, but starting tonight, the Canes have to take care of business with the teams that they need to beat.
That's the big question going into Game 1 tonight. How do you handle the speed and talent of the New Jersey Devils? Because credit where credit's due, they looked really fast in the series against the New York Rangers, and they had to be in order to be successful, right? I mean, their transition game is their bread and butter. If they're able to take their puck from their own end and move it up ice quickly, you might be in trouble. If you make a mistake in that process, you're in even more trouble. As we see here, Jack Hughes, he's got no problem scoring on the rush. Eric Holla had a wonderful first-round series. So for the Canes, it's going to be getting pucks behind New Jersey's defense and forcing them to play in their own end. Let's see how they handle that aggressive forecheck from Carolina and force them to really try and tire them out by playing defense and escaping the pressure before they can get that puck up ice. It shows that Sebastian Aho wants to be here. Again, this negotiating window only opened 25 days ago. It was July 1 that he was able to even discuss an extension with the Hurricanes. He could have waited. He could have taken the year, seen what he could have gotten free agency next year. Could have been a variety of different ways that this thing could have gone, but the fact that both sides were able to come to a maximum term extension this early in the offseason shows that Sebastian wants to be here, and the team now has their number one center locked up through the next 9 seasons.
Again, just like Thursday night in Nashville, it's a 2-on-1 or it's a breakaway the other way, and he's tasked with making that stop. It matters null if the Carolina Hurricanes are dominating possession and dominating play. If it's a 0-0 game and they're giving up those opportunities going the other way, so they need their goaltenders to be good. And this is also an imperative time of year. Do you need a number one in the playoffs? Can you go with 2? It depends on who you ask, but the opportunity is certainly there for the taking. It'll be interesting to me to see who starts Game 1 in the playoffs. I know we're not there yet, but Antti Raanta certainly built his case.
So it's so great to see Pyotr Kochetkov in the crease again. What was your takeaway on his performance?
Well, he's looked calm, cool, and collected so far, and this is a guy who a week ago was trying to fight everybody on the ice in Manitoba. Not just once, but twice in the span of 3 days. In all seriousness, he's done a good job of staying between the pipes. We're going to get a look here at some of his better saves tonight. They've all been timely. Again, that goes hand in hand with this being a one-goal game. If you give up a goal in this situation when you're Carolina and you've been the better team, that's when they're really deflating.
Stellar last night against a very shot-heavy Rangers team when they're on fire. But he's not the only guy in net that the Canes can trust.
Right, and that's a huge thing come playoff time. Yes, it's about going with the hot hand and who's going to be good in net, but you've got Frederik Andersen. Antti Raanta is getting close to coming back. He suffered an injury March 7th, but we've been seeing him on the ice the past couple days. He should be ready to go by playoff time. And then Pyotr Kochetkov's emerged onto the scene as the rookie netminder. So like you said, you have 3 legitimate options. There are a lot of teams that are headed to postseason play that would love to have 3 options. A lot of guys will only ride one netminder if you're a head coach in the NHL, right? But looks like the Carolina Hurricanes are going to have 3 viable options this time next month.
Is there a Canes player that is standing out to you?
I'm sticking with Freddie Andersen. Here's why. These games are often the hardest for goaltenders to stay engaged in. His work has been so limited tonight and inconsistent, and Anaheim's done a nice job of getting these high-danger opportunities. Again, it's not the quantity of them, it's the quality of them. They've got 7 high-danger chances so far. You take a look up at the big board, you see only 12 shots. They've made good on their 1, and now it's the Canes playing from behind, but I like what Andersen's been able to do. He had a handful of saves there at the end of the first, where if not for those, we could be looking at a 3 or 4-0 lead for Anaheim right now.